The 7 laws, discovered by Hermes Trismegistus and compiled in the ancient text known as the Kybalion, were passed down by the sages of antiquity and woven into the very fabric of reality. Hermes is often regarded as a wise seer, bridging divine and human knowledge. Hailing from ancient Egypt, he is believed to have synthesized Greek and Egyptian wisdom, laying the groundwork for what later became known as Hermeticism. According to Hermetic beliefs, Hermes Trismegistus received divine revelations and recorded them in texts. The Kybalion contains 7 laws that unveil the profound mysteries of existence and the cosmos. One of the most potent laws is so groundbreaking that even advanced spiritualists try not to dwell on it for too long. Yet, mastering these 7 laws offers a glimpse into the universe as it truly is, a secret known only to a select few, to those advanced individuals. Understanding their essence will allow you to touch upon these mysteries, but be warned, for knowledge is power. The first of these laws redefines the universe as we perceive it, proposing that it is a manifestation of mind. This is the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental, was the original maxim uttered by Hermes Trismegistus himself. This implies that for anything to exist, it must first be preceded by thought. Just as an artist wields a brush to create a masterpiece, so too does the universal mind form and sculpt reality according to its will. By comprehending this principle, we recognize that our thoughts are the building blocks of our reality, and by mastering our minds, we can wield the very power of creation. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the mind, we come to understand that our thoughts are not merely fleeting whims, but the foundational elements of our reality. Every thought we think, every feeling we experience, sends ripples through the fabric of existence, shaping the world around us in both seen and unseen ways. Recall the initial thought that led to your ability to read these words. Whether it was a curiosity about the mysteries of the universe or a desire for spiritual enlightenment, that single thought, born in the depths of consciousness, set in motion a chain of events that ultimately brought you here, to this very moment. Take a moment to consider the thought that is most influencing your mood right now. Perhaps it's a lingering worry, a surge of inspiration, or a feeling of peace and contentment. Whatever it may be, that thought holds the power to shape your perception of reality and influence how you experience the world around you. But what if we could learn to harness the power of our thoughts to guide the course of our livings with intention and purpose? What if we could train our minds to become masters of our destiny, leading us to a future filled with abundance, fulfillment, and joy? This is where spiritual practices like meditation come into play. Through the practice of meditation, we learn to quiet the restless chatter of the mind and tune into the stillness that lies at the core of our being. In the silence between thoughts, we discover a profound sense of peace and clarity, allowing us to see beyond the illusions of the ego and connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe. The principle of mentalism opens the gates to the depths of human consciousness, inviting us to explore its boundless possibilities. It challenges conventional understanding of reality, urging us to recognize the colossal power inherent in every individual. Embarking on this fascinating journey of self-discovery, one gains the chance to explore the vast expanses of their mind and unlock the dormant potential within. Embracing the principle of mentalism becomes the key to unraveling the mysteries of existence, allowing one to become the master of their destiny. By freeing oneself from the shackles of random thoughts, the individual becomes the creator of their inner world, capable of navigating the ever-changing landscape of consciousness with ease and grace. Following the principle of mentalism is an equally important law known as the Principle of Correspondence. The famous phrase, "as above, so below," perfectly encapsulates the essence of this principle. Recalling the ancient symbol of yin and yang, embodying the eternal interplay of opposites, light and darkness, masculine and feminine, creation and destruction, one can see the wisdom of the principle of correspondence. Every aspect of the universe is reflected in another, forming an unbroken web of interconnectedness that permeates all being. Let's turn to the legacy of the 17th century philosopher René Descartes, a French thinker whose investigations focused on the relationship between mind and body. Descartes, reflecting on the nature of reality, put forth the idea of dualism, suggesting that mind and body are separate entities that interact with each other. His philosophical inquiries shed light on the principle of correspondence, emphasizing the interconnection between the physical and metaphysical worlds. However, the principle of correspondence extends beyond physical reality, penetrating into the depths of human consciousness. Like stars reflecting cosmic patterns, human thoughts and emotions mirror the great truths of the universe. Adhering to the principle of correspondence involves recognizing the energy one radiates into the world and its reflection back upon oneself. This is about accepting responsibility for one's thoughts, feelings, and actions, realizing one's role in the co-creation of reality. It is worth considering the cycles inherent in every person's life, the ups and downs of joy and sorrow, the rhythms of birth and death, the continuous flow of change. Within these cycles lies the truth of correspondence, reminding us of our inseparable connection to the universe, that we are an integral part of its vast and interconnected whole. Living in harmony with the universe, one finds a sense of peace and contentment that transcends any external circumstances. There comes an understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and a realization of being part of something greater. Thus, the principle of correspondence becomes a guiding star on the path of self-discovery and spiritual growth, reminding us that we are not passive observers in life's unfolding drama, but active participants capable of shaping our destiny. After exploring the first two principles, it is time for the third, which can explain the emergence of what is commonly referred to as the Big Bang, the birth of all known energy. This is the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The principle of vibration, as understood by the ancient Egyptians, states that all things, from matter and energy to mind and spirit, differ primarily in their speed of vibration. Spirit vibrates at an incredible speed, almost appearing motionless, like a spinning wheel that seems still. At the same time, some forms of matter vibrate so slowly that they appear frozen. Between these extremes, there are countless levels of vibration. Imagine the concept of resonance, where two objects vibrating at an identical frequency amplify each other's oscillations, generating a powerful surge of energy. Similarly, when our thoughts and feelings align with our deepest aspirations, we begin to resonate with the frequencies of prosperity, joy, and love, attracting events into our lives that reflect our inner harmony. The principle of vibration reveals to us the mechanism of energy in the universe. Energy, in all its manifestations, continuously vibrates with varying intensity. For example, light propagates as waves, where each color corresponds to its unique vibration frequency. Similarly, sound is a form of energy that propagates in waves, and pitch is determined by the frequency of oscillations. However, the principle of vibration extends beyond the physical world, penetrating into the deepest recesses of our consciousness. Just as the universe pulsates with energy, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs also emit vibrations. Every thought we have and every experience we undergo generates energetic waves that resonate with the surrounding world. This idea resonates with the reflections of the philosopher Baruch Spinoza, who explored the nature of being and the interconnectedness of all things. Spinoza asserted that all elements of the universe consist of a single substance, which he called God or nature, emphasizing the profound unity among all things. According to Spinoza, this substance possesses an infinite number of attributes, of which only thought and extension are accessible to human perception. Similarly, the principle of vibration suggests that all aspects of reality are merely different manifestations of a single, underlying energy vibrating at different frequencies. Spinoza's philosophy affirms the idea that by comprehending the fundamental vibrations of nature, we can achieve a closer harmony with the universe. He believed in the power of rational knowledge to improve human life, asserting that understanding our true nature and aligning with the universe can lead to the highest degree of satisfaction and happiness. This echoes the concept of resonance in the principle of vibration, where understanding and aligning our vibrations with those of the universe can lead to a harmonious and fulfilling life. However, of all the laws discussed today, the fourth is undoubtedly the most challenging to grasp. This law explains the existence of nuances in everything in the universe, which can seem complex if your mind is not sufficiently receptive to such information. We are talking about the principle of polarity. This law states, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. From the Taoist concept of yin and yang to the Hindu notion of Shiva and Shakti, we see echoes of this fundamental truth across various cultures and eras. Light and darkness, day and night. These are just some manifestations of the eternal dance of polarities. It is the interaction of these opposites that creates the rich tapestry of life, imbuing it with depth, contrast, and meaning. Recalling the ancient Greek thinker Heraclitus, one cannot help but mention his famous saying about the unity of the upward and downward path. In this concise yet profound phrase, the philosopher managed to express the essence of polarity, representing the idea of an unbreakable connection and interdependence of opposites that do not exist in isolation from each other. In Christian teachings, one can find the concept of redemption achieved through suffering. It implies that trials and difficulties can lead an individual to spiritual growth and enlightenment. Just as unrefined ore is transformed into pure gold in a crucible, so too can our adversities and trials purify the soul, elevating us to higher levels of consciousness. Throughout history, eminent minds, mystics, and philosophers have dedicated themselves to contemplating the mysteries of polarity, striving to comprehend its secrets and extract wisdom from its eternal lessons. However, despite all intellectual efforts, the true nature of polarity eludes definitive explanation, as it cannot be grasped solely by reason. As the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu asserted, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao." Similarly, the principle of polarity transcends words and concepts, existing beyond language and thought. It is a truth that must be felt at a profound level, experienced through the crucible of life. When faced with difficulties, there is a temptation to succumb to negative emotions such as anger, fear, and envy. However, by embracing the principle of polarity, we are called to rise above these impulses, recognizing their true nature, fleeting manifestations of the egoic mind. Instead of dwelling in negativity, we can learn to observe our emotions with detachment, acknowledging their presence but not allowing them to consume us. Are we capable of developing the inner strength to transform suffering into wisdom and pain into compassion? Only then can we reach new heights. In close proximity to the principle of polarity lies the fifth law, which reveals the interconnectedness of all things and their coordination through rhythm. But how can we ascertain its truth if we cannot see it? Only by opening our eyes can we understand. How then to grasp the principle of rhythm? Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. A pendulum-like swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm always compensates. Inseparably linked to the principle of polarity, the profound intuition encapsulated in the fifth principle points to the inherent rhythm that exists between opposing poles. Like the ebb and flow of tides, the rise and fall of breath, everything in the universe is subject to the rhythmic dance of eternal motion. Pause for a moment to consider the nature surrounding us. In the cyclicality of the seasons, we observe the earth awakening from winter slumber, blossoming with new life in spring, reaching its peak of abundance in summer, and finally giving way to the tranquility of autumn before the cycle renews. Each season carries a unique rhythm and energy, guiding the growth and evolution of all living things. Indeed, these rhythms are mirrored in human nature itself. Every individual's life is marked by cycles of growth and transformation, periods of expansion and contraction, joy and sorrow. Just as nature retreats into winter dormancy, people may withdraw into themselves, reflecting on past lessons and preparing for a springtime resurgence. In the height of summer, they revel in warmth and light, basking in life's abundance. And in the fading days of autumn, they embrace the inevitability of change, trusting the universe's wisdom to guide them through the dark nights of the soul. Instead of desperately resisting life's ebbs and flows, one learns to embrace them, relying on the innate wisdom of the universe to guide them on their life's path. Like a sailor skillfully navigating sails according to winds and currents, each person can learn to navigate the currents of their own life, adjusting their sails to catch the favorable winds of opportunity and bravely and steadfastly endure storms. But how can this principle be applied in daily life? It is important to remember that nothing is permanent. Everything is in continuous motion and transformation. Embracing this law fosters a deeper understanding of the transient nature of existence and allows people to cope with life's vicissitudes more easily. Humanity stands on the threshold of comprehending two of the universe's most profound mysteries, laws that define the greatest truths ever known to mankind. It is time to learn what these truths are, beginning with one of the most studied universal laws, the principle of cause and effect. Nothing happens in isolation. At its core, the principle of cause and effect emphasizes the interconnected nature of reality, where every event, whether seemingly insignificant or monumental, is inextricably linked to a chain of preceding causes and subsequent effects. This interconnectedness transcends time and space, forming a continuous and unbroken flow of causality. Despite the apparent simplicity of this concept, its understanding deepens when the hidden truth within it is revealed. One cannot control or predict most of the outcomes of their actions. And while it may seem that control over the outcome is in one's hands, in all likelihood, one can only influence it at best. According to Eastern beliefs, the concept of wu-wei, or non-action, is closely intertwined with the principle of cause and effect. Instead of striving to control or manipulate external circumstances, wu-wei encourages following the natural rhythms of life, allowing events to unfold organically, without excessive interference. Such an approach embodies the understanding that every action entails consequences, and that by following the Tao, or the Way, one can navigate the complexities of existence with greater ease and grace. However, one is capable of controlling their thoughts and how they influence the rest of their life. As one delves deeper into the principle of cause and effect, the question arises of each person's role in the grand scheme of existence. Is one merely a passive recipient of external forces, carried away by the currents of circumstance, or does one possess the ability and power to shape their destiny, influencing the course of events through their thoughts, words, and actions? The final law of the universe demands deep preparation for comprehension, as it permeates all spheres of life, hidden behind the veil of the mundane. This is the principle of gender, the enigmatic finale of the 7 laws governing the universe. Hermes Trismegistus asserted, "Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes." If the manifestation of this law is evident in the animal and human worlds, how can masculine and feminine principles be applied to inanimate objects such as stars, clouds, or the sea breeze? The essence is that the principle of gender transcends biological sex and social gender roles. It encompasses the interplay of opposites, light and darkness, yin and yang, expansion and contraction, underlying the duality of being. It is a cosmic dance of creation and destruction, a rhythm of birth and death, an eternal cycle of renewal and transformation. Why then is the comprehension of this cosmic mystery so challenging? The principle of gender extends beyond the limitations of linear thinking and egocentric perception. It challenges attempts to categorize the unfathomable mysteries of the universe. It is important to understand that this is not about the dominance of one energy over another. True mastery lies in achieving a harmonious balance between them, a delicate equilibrium that allows creative energy to flow freely and unlock the highest potential. By achieving this balance, one becomes an alchemist of the soul, utilizing the power of both polarities to manifest their deepest desires and aspirations. The most profound revelations about the principle of gender can be found in the mystical teachings of the Sufis. In the poetry of Rumi and Hafiz, the transcendent beauty of the divine union is revealed, the merging of the beloved and the beloved, the seeker and the sought, in an eternal dance of ecstatic delight. Acceptance is the first step towards self-discovery, recognizing and embracing all aspects of oneself, both light and dark. According to Buddha, the middle path, the balance of masculine and feminine, earthly and heavenly, mind, body, and spirit, leads to true enlightenment. The path to mastery is not a sprint, but a marathon, requiring patience and persistence. These principles are deeply rooted, woven into the very fabric of being, and a lifetime, or even several lifetimes, may be required to fully understand and embody their profound truths.